So welcome to Satsang, everybody. My name is Radha Cathy Augustyn, and I'm the spiritual head of the Transformation Center CT, which is located in Westport, Connecticut. So at the center, we do a variety of trainings and classes. We also do individual sessions, healing sessions and coaching, and shamanic sessions. And actually, we're going to start doing the shamanic clinic again next month. But we're going to try it on Zoom instead of doing it in person. So stay tuned for more information about that. So also joining us tonight is Radha Cathy French, and she's the spiritual head of the Mahavatar Babaji Mystery School of New England. So she's also a healer, she's a coach, and she has a private practice called Loving Kindness Healing. And that's her website. You can find it at lovingkindnesshealing.com. She teaches workshops, classes here and everywhere else. And she's my first teacher and mentor and spiritual guide. So she's the one who got me on the path. So thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Mataji.
So Nalini is going to join us also, and she is a self-mastery shamanic practitioner. She's an intuitive and business coach for spiritual entrepreneurs, which I love that. And her website is Nalini Shamanic Divination Healing. So you can find her there. And she's going to help us tonight. She's going to lead the chanting. So that'll be great. So the way the agenda is going to be, we're going to do the arati, and Radha is going to lead us in that. And then we'll just have a little discussion about our topic, about the paradox of holding on and letting go. And then Radha will also lead us in a guided visualization. And then we're going to finish up with some chanting. And we'll not finish up, but almost finish up with the chanting. And then we'll have a blessing after that. Okay. All right. So again, welcome everybody. And thanks for being here. And you can take it over, Radha.
Okay, thank you. Arati is a very ancient tradition, and it translates to the waving of the lights. And with each waving of the lights, we're asking that the light within our own heart be kindled. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jaya, which means we bow to the venerable feet of the ascended masters.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Radha. That's a wonderful way to start tonight. Yeah, so, I was thinking about the topic, this paradox of holding on and letting go, because it came up a couple of weeks ago. I'm taking this online course in hypnosis, and the teacher was describing that state of hypnosis as a way of holding on and letting go. So I was thinking about how it carries over to a lot of parts of our lives, and how it's important for us to recognize that it is possible to do both, and maybe even at the same time. And we were thinking about examples of that, and I think Radha's going to tell a story about her experience with that in a minute. But I wanted to start with a quote from an author. His name is J. Parker Palmer. And this is what he had to say about the paradox of holding on and letting go. So the poles of a paradox are like the poles of a battery. Hold them together and they generate the energy of life. Pull them apart and the current stops flowing. When we separate any of the profound truths in our lives, both poles become lifeless specters of themselves, and we become lifeless as well. So I thought that was really kind of profound, the way he described that. And, the whole thing about paradox is that you can have both and, so you don't have to actually decide. Another quote, and then I'll open it up to Radha, that I also resonated with me. This is from Tony Schwartz, another author. And he says to us, let go of certainty. The opposite isn't uncertainty, it's openness, it's curiosity, and it's a willingness to embrace paradox rather than choose up sides. So it's not an either or thing. However, the ultimate challenge is to accept ourselves exactly as we are while never stop trying to learn and grow. So I also love that because, we're always talking about accepting ourselves just as we are, right? But then where does that improvement come in? If we're perfect the way we are, then why don't we just sit here and do nothing, It doesn't work that way, right? So that was a little gem right there too. It gives us the context that we're living in right now, because we're all on the path of growth and learning. Otherwise, why would we be here, right? So what do you think, Radha?
It's so, I love those quotes, Mataji. It's just really, really beautiful that, there's this tension between trying to improve ourselves and realizing that we're just fine the way we are. It's there's let me just come into it a little more deeply. This there's so much, especially during, in the world the way it is right now, so much of a wish for a certain kind of change, and also some people wanting things to stay just the way that they are.
Yeah.
And as people on the path, we're kind of right there with everybody. I mean, everybody brings something to the table, and this kind of being with what is, and also desiring change and not getting caught up in it. I think that's where we get stuck. It's the out of that place of equilibrium that you were talking about, and also that's charged, as that battery image illustrates. It's from that state of beingness arises our activity and our actions and our direction forward. It's like someone said, well, if you think that you're just that your place in life is to just lay around, well, try it and then see what happens. I mean, sooner or later, there's something that arises in us that wants our attention, that guides us forward, that activates our creativity or our curiosity. And off we go, this kind of, and those two states, that one of rest and then the one of action, that being in that place of aliveness that you were so beautifully pointing to earlier. It's really it requires such consciousness to realize, what are we letting go of? What are we holding on to? Where, like what's really going on? It's easy to delude ourselves. I have a lot of experience with it.
Well, yes, and just like a lot of things that we talk about, the first step is self-awareness.
Very true.
Like,
Yeah.
where are we? And just to notice. And, to me, a lot of this is about balance.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's about, yes, holding on and letting go and having, the action and the rest, like you were saying. It's like, it's really both. You can't have one without the other. It's a constant shift, maybe. But I think the equilibrium that you described and just wanting that balance, and that also, to me, a big factor is harmony.
Mm-hmm. I'll say more harmony.
Well, how things work together, how things flow, and when things feel right, and it's such an individual take on it, because, well, I mean, that's not true either. I guess there's universal harmony, certainly, but when I might feel in harmony, someone else might not. I guess is what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's important that we look within, like where are we at our harmonic best, or where You know, that's an interesting idea, when we're in a place of conflict, to think of it as something trying to harmonize.
Mhm.
That it's not the same note repeated, but two notes that can, when heard together, are pleasing. You know,
Mhm.
allowing ourselves to come into, I never thought of that really before, is that we're all seeking a state of inner true harmony in terms of like harmonics. And some of us might remember the harmonic convergence in the last century somewhere, this kind of coming together, just the symphony within us, that it becomes, that we cease, hearing the dissonance and look for the harmonics. But oh, that's that's really touching. Thank you, Katie. Wow.
Well, you took it and ran with it and expanded it, because that's a beautiful way of describing it.
It's a wonderful way to think about our own life circumstances these days. That we seek to harmonize with people. It's so easy to find, to be in an oppositional state,
Mhm.
and losing the sight of what, where we can connect. What's the, um, how can we make music together, with, even with different sounds, you know, I don't know. I can hear the music in my head. It's harder to speak to.
Yeah, because I think it's always there, but whether we actually hear it and respond to it, that's the way it occurs for me.
Yeah. The other day, I was walking in the woods, and I've become very attracted to this idea. With There's this way of bathing children. I think it was developed in France. Newborn babies in this perfectly temperatured water, and the water flows over them, and you can just see them relax into their more aquatic state. That they were in. Just hours, maybe minutes before. I don't know, but and the loving way that these infants were being held by the nurse, and the way she was tending to them, and the babies just relaxed into the water. And I just found this to be such a healing image for me as I was walking through the woods in my very suburban area.
Hmm.
And as I'm thinking about the peace and the harmony and the trust and the love, and I look up ahead of me on the path, and there's a man standing with his arms folded, legs apart, looking very, I don't know, assertive. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And he points to the right, and I look down, and there are four men in camouflage uniforms, outfits with guns, or some kind of weapon, I don't know. And it turns out they were bow hunting turkeys in this, in this suburban neighborhood. There's a little bit of woods around, but so this man that I was at first concerned, like, who's this guy on the path? And then it turns out that he's, trying to alert me to some danger that's nearby. And then I had a conversation with him, and where there's chit chat back and forth. He had told these guys in no uncertain terms to, leave the turkeys and the neighborhood alone, and off they went. And but there was this sense of, when I had this sense of inner peace and of caretaking, and then all of a sudden there's this new experience, unexpected, that arises in front of me. There's fear that arises. And then there's also this memory, this very visceral memory of safety and love and care. And that's what shows up in my life, is someone looking out for my well-being, some stranger, taking care of the neighborhood and protecting us from these marauding hunters and whatever. But it was just, I thought, it gave me such a sense of this, so much holding and letting go had to happen in that little transaction of holding my own sense of peace, letting go of my sense of fear of the unknown, and then this sense again of peace being held by this stranger, and the letting go of these hunters. Just this kind of dance, but it was the undercurrent of trust and of a kind of I don't know, that there's the possibility of everything working together, even in the face of difficulty, of challenge, of the unknown, of possible danger, that this kind of coming together, holding on, letting go, not clinging to something, but this kind of being in the presence of, and maybe this is really what I feel the spiritual path is all about for me, is this kind of trust that there is a loving care everywhere. We just have to be in harmony with that in order to be able to navigate our way forward to creating to contributing to the greater good. Something like that.
Wow, that's beautiful. That says a lot. And it's like, right, it's like the epitome of who you are. It really describes that because, you have that experience because of who you are. Someone else might have had a totally different experience of the same thing exactly. So I think, no, that says a lot. And I think you're right. That's really one of the purposes of what we're doing, is to be in that place and then to help other people get in that place. So I think that speaks a lot.
From what you were saying, Mataji, it's the beingness that creates the doingness. Some people say that on the path, it's more important who you are than what it is that you do, because the gift is really in who you get to be as you grow and mature and are able to do the things that you want to do. The doingness that's nice too. And in some places, thank God for it. But that sometimes on the spiritual path, people think, oh, it seems selfish that I should spend so much time on my own self-development, but it's not.
Yeah, no, it's true. Interesting conversation that I've had, not recently, but a while ago with my husband about that very thing. It's like, well, isn't there more to it than just, learning and growing? And, I'm like, there is, but this is a big part of it. That's really what, first and foremost. And yes, and of course the doing is there, but it doesn't start there. So.
It's so true. It's so true. I mean, especially these days, and with so much tumultuous things going on, to be able to bring up the presence of peace to the collective consciousness is an important addition. And and gatherings like this, it's important to recognize that what we're all contributing in our you sponsoring this gathering. I mean, that we get to gather, and our contribution of love and peace and the best of us to make that contribution. It's important.
Yeah. And it's a nice balance of having the inner learning and then taking it out. I think that's works. It really, I think it's the way it works. And I did have one more little quote that I'll read, because I think it fits in with this. And this is a Rumi quote. And he said that your hand opens and closes, opens and closes. If it were always a fist or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed, not doing, right? Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding, the two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as bird wings.
Oh, leave it to Rumi. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think it reminds us too that it's just like the natural flow of life includes that expansion, and then when we need to, that contraction, that it all works together. It's like a flow and motion, and it's constant. It's open and close, up and down. There's no straight line, there's no there that we're getting to. It's just like it's a journey on this path. And I think that really kind of sums it up a little bit there. It's nice.
I agree. Yeah.
And so there are things that I think that we can let go of in that sense. And I was thinking about that as well. And for me, it's about attachments. like being attached to something is not the same as being in a really good relationship with it.
Mhm.
I mean, to me, there's a little bit of a difference. So yes, you love someone, you're in a relationship with them, but you're not attached to them because they're not like you would still be good without them, so it's not like they're necessary for your existence or your happiness or something like that.
It's a big topic because a lot of what we claim to be love is really attachment, you
Mm,
know, and that and in our culture, attachment is really um advocated, like an intense, it can be very intense, but it's not necessarily healthy to totally love someone and not be attached to them. That's a real attainment, I think.
it is. It's a fine line there, and I think for me, what I think I was reading this not too long ago, and it resonated with me, that if you think about attachment is really it's a mind,
Hmm.
not a heart thing. So it's
Right.
something about the thinking, or that it's not the heart that's speaking.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
whenever you've got an agenda about something, that's second chakra stuff, because it's like, the I love you if, I love you because, or, that kind of thing. Feelings in the heart have no agenda. It's just this pure, it's a pure, and they're the higher vibrational emotional states.
Yeah, it just is.
That's right. That's exactly it. That's perfect. Yes, it just is. Yeah.
Yeah. Patricia, put yourself on mute. Uh,
Yeah, just moving with what is. It's just a
yeah,
beautiful dance.
yeah. So this is great. So I guess unless you have one more thing, we should start on our wonderful guided visualization if you're up for that.
Oh, I love the way you tied that up. I love that Rumi quote. Okay. So let's just everybody get comfortable, and we'll just take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it to the count of 7, and then exhale through the mouth, releasing, relaxing, letting go. Another breath in through the nose, and hold it to the count of 7, and exhale through the mouth, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. And one last time, breath in through the nose, hold it to the count of 7, and exhale through the mouth, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. And feel the delight in your heart at being able to be where you are in this moment, sharing time with people who care about you, in the company of people, like-minded people, feeling the energy and the dance of the energy of community weaving among us. And feel that dance of community, the spirit of community expand to the people you know and love, work with, spend time with, tolerate, enjoy. And feel the rhythm of community. Feel the commonality of herds and flocks, of gardens. Feel the pattern of interrelatedness, the joy and the opportunity of being with others. And feeling this dance, this gentle, loving movement, expand and expand. And feel love arise. The people that you love, the people that you've loved before in your life. And feel that, sense that thread of golden light, of love as it's woven its way through your lifetime. Feel the brocade of it all, the richness of your life. And feel the energy around the top of your head. The energy of where a crown would be. Feel the regal nature that you possess. The energy of leadership, the energy of service. And feel yourself also wearing a robe, a cloak of midnight blue, dotted with sparkles like the night sky. And feel yourself now as if we were gathering together in the night sky together. A circle of beings. Those of us here, the gathering of spiritual masters. Feel the sound, the color of the Om, the primordial sound of creation, weaving our circle together. Seeing at the center of our circle, the globe herself, beautiful, so lovingly sculpted. As our circle grows, as we gather together with this planet before us, as we send love from our hearts, our throats, our eyes, our third eye in the center of our forehead, our palms. Feel the light flowing from your heart. White, gold, pink, whatever color it is flowing through you. Notice the masters doing the same. Just sending love, supporting those who struggle with illness. This presence of coronavirus, just sending love, raising the vibration of the planet. Feel some of the energy that you're sending. Know that it's going to animals, to the goddess herself who lives at the center of this planet. Feel the fortification that just love itself, not desiring to do anything, but just raising the vibration, your contribution of love, goodwill, as you radiate this from your beingness, as all of us in the circle, the masters, ourselves, others, an angelic presence, other great beings, allowing our planet to ascend from a place that's less than perfectly healthy to a higher level of its own accord, shaking off discord, disharmony. Feel wellness, balance, goodwill, harmony. Sense it increasing. Sense the song that the planet is singing, changing to something higher. Feel your own sense of service. How in this gathering of beings, tending to the planet we love, feel the love. What we can do with love as the resonance increases. Saying the prayer that you have within your heart for our planet. Pray for our planet. Sending your prayers, whatever they may be, wherever they're needed. As debris falls away and is transmuted into a higher vibrational essence. As the cosmos around us improves as well. Feel the interconnectedness and the interrelatedness, the interbeing of all things. This planet, solar systems across the galaxy, being impacted by our gathering. Feel the light from the beginning, this one, shining above you. Feel the brilliant white light that now sheaths you in something like a cone of light. Feel the intelligence that you receive and give thanks for. The love. Feel your own beingness fortified so that you can do the work that you came to do. Feel the light, this perfect diamond white light, now being integrated within your own beingness. Feel it moving deep within you as it takes residence, particles of it throughout your physical being, throughout your energetic being, like these little junction of jewels of white light. enhancing your physical well-being. Sense the intelligence as it shares bits of guidance for you, or seeding that guidance for future reference. Feel yourself to be a field of light, of living thought, intention, love, will. Growing together, preparing you. Feel yourself being recognized for who you are being. Experience yourself being loved. Feel how those jewels of white light are especially receptive to love. And as you radiate love, it's magnified prismatically through these little junction of white jewels of light. You are able to radiate more love, more light in service to the greater good. Just this, that your beingness, wherever you go, is now able to make a greater difference. Trust in your beingness, in the light that your beingness now radiates. And breathe. Notice how much more easily you can shift your temperature, your vibration, the dance of it. And give thanks. You're able to be this being. You can multiply the light, multiply the love. Feel yourself as the star that you are. And let the light shine. Feel yourself now the beacon that you are, shining the light, shining it across the planet, sending it to the ones to whom your heart is calling. As those of us in our group recognize our constellation of light, and so it is. As we now bring our awareness back into where we're sitting, the crown and the cape being integrated into our beingness. And that those constellations of light within us, the junctions and junctures of jeweled white light. Feel it creating the network within you. Testing that network, shining that light, letting your light shine. And regulating it, and vowing to remember that you can activate this light whenever you choose to. And give thanks. Amen. And slowly come back. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that was awesome. Here.
I
Right.
still feel that. That's amazing. I've never done one where we got light implants before. That was cool.
That
They
was
outdid themselves.
it's very powerful and empowering. It felt empowering. Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anything you want to share about it, Katie, while we come back to Earth?
No, I think it was just like I said, it felt so sparkly, and real and empowering and being to offer it, the love, and it was I mean all of it was great.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. Thank you so much. All right, so let's see if we were ready for some chanting. I don't know. Let's see. Nalini, are you ready for some chanting tonight? Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, do you want to fill everybody in?
Sure. We're going to do a call and response chant tonight with Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Kitty, are you going to share it to the screen, or
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it in the chat here so everybody has it too.
Okay, great. Yeah, so this is the, did it come up? Oh.
Mhm.
I don't see it.
Oh, I saw it from you. Oh.
Yeah, I have it in the chat, but I don't see it on a screen share.
Okay, well, it's like circling, so that's okay.
Okay, well, everybody, if you know how to look in your chat, that's where it is.
Oh, there it is. Is it on there now, on the screen?
Sort of. It's trying.
Oh, well. Okay, there it is. So it's, yeah, Om Namah Shivaya. My computer's just a little slow tonight. Okay.
All right, so a call and response means that I'll be the lead chanter and I will call Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. And then Radha will be the lead responder and you will all respond with her with Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Over Zoom, we found that it has worked best to have everybody but me and Radha on mute because otherwise we all get out of sync. So you guys will be chanting from your own homes with yourselves. The nice thing about that is you can chant as loud as you want and not worry about it. So we're going to chant for about 10 minutes. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva means I bow to the inner self. For chanting, I like to have it in gallery view because then it feels like we're all together. You can do that up in the right hand corner of your screen on Zoom, even though we'll be in gallery view in each of ours. Katie's going to leave hers in personal speaker. That way, the only person that will be seen on the recording will be me or Radha. So as long as everybody's comfortable with that, we'll get started now. And we're going to do about 10 minutes. All right. Sadgurnath Maharaj Ki Jaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Sadgurnath Maharaj Ki Jaya.
Great. Thank you, Nalini and Radha. Wow. So much fun. It's like just a great way to finish off and keep that energy flowing. And yeah, this is great. So I just appreciate all of you so much being here and doing everything that you do. It's just wonderful to be together. And I just want to give a blessing and for everybody before we leave tonight. So take this with you, what you have tonight, the light shining within you. And feel it expanding everywhere you go. And be aware that you are light, you are love, and you have the power. And you can let go of whatever's not serving you. Hold on to the things that are. Yeah, and just be well, be safe. God loves you, and so do I. Thank you, everybody, and turn off the recording and